Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Maria Summers, and I'm the Director of Champs Group Purchasing. And I have Alex with me from VPL. So we are going to learn more about this great partnership that we have in place for you. Alex, thanks for joining.
It's my pleasure, Maria. Happy to be here.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. So tell me a little bit about yourself and how long you've been with VPL.
Oh, boy. Yeah. So my role here at VPL is I'm the AVP of Enterprise Alliances, which means I do things just like I'm doing today. I network with partners like yourself and Champs to bring our software and our solution to GPOs and strategic partners. I think in terms of this particular agreement, you and I worked through a contract where we're aggregating all of the volume together for all of Champs.
Yes.
In exchange for some favorable pricing. So I'm looking forward to kind of just talking through what that looks like and what the benefits are to your members.
That's great. Well, I'm glad you just mentioned our members. As you know, and hopefully everyone knows, Champs is able to support members in all classes of trade. And is VPL able to support that as well?
Yes, absolutely. So, I think, historically programs such as ours, freight management solutions, started off geared towards, more acute care hospitals in that setting. But over the years, this has become a great solution for all types of classes of trade. Whether it's an ambulatory surgery center, even physicians' offices can access it. So I guess long answer short to your question, absolutely, we're open for business for anybody who might be interested. As long as it's a good mutual fit, we'd be happy to talk through it.
That's great. That's great. Well, let's go ahead and get started.
All right. Yeah. So if you don't mind, I've got a couple slides here that I'll pull up and step you through them. If we'll test my technological capabilities here. Did that work?
It's pulling up right now. Yep, I can see your screen.
All right. Excellent. Well, thank you, Maria. And again, pleasure to be here. Really looking forward to this. And looking forward to hopefully having some subsequent conversations with some of the membership afterwards. But back to your original question, about my kind of tenure here at VPL. I'll take you back a little bit to the origins of this whole concept we call freight management in healthcare. Right around 20 years ago, this concept was started in healthcare. Like I mentioned, it kind of started in the acute care setting, but it's since expanded into other types of channels. But the whole concept started, back in the day with a company that actually our founding partners here at VPL helped start. So we kind of have our origins in the roots of this whole concept of freight management in healthcare 20 years ago or so. Fast forward, that original company was sold to another large company that I'm sure some of your membership are familiar with today. If they're on a current freight management program, they're probably very familiar with that company. But VPL was started shortly after that sale of the first company. And really the reason we started VPL was to correct for some of the things originally that the marketplace wanted done differently in this space. Not to mention, we wanted to take it to another level. And I'll explain to you what I mean by that here as we go through the presentation. Let me see if I can get this to advance here to the next slide. Did that work, Maria?
It did.
All right, good. I'll stop asking after that. It seems like we're off and running. So anytime that we have the good fortune of talking with a potential customer, there are always three things that we say we want to make sure that they take away. So the first big takeaway is, we are going to drive operational efficiencies, time-saving, operational efficiencies that we're going to bring to the table. Not to mention incremental savings. So we look at these as table stakes. If you're partnering with a company like ours that provides solutions in the space of freight management and supply chain visibility, you need to make sure that you're getting operational efficiencies and incremental savings. And we want our customers to be excited about that. But again, we look at that as table stakes. You should absolutely, that's a given, right, at this stage in the life cycle of this category. What we really want our customers to be excited about, though, is the benefits that we provide to a supply chain beyond just that freight management category. And I'm talking about visibility and resiliency that we can drive and bring to the table. We utilize the data that comes with freight management in order to drive additional visibility and resiliency opportunities within a supply chain. So, and again, I'll explain what that means a little bit further, but I just wanted to get that, I guess up front, make sure I state that. And then the third bullet is, the question always becomes, well, this all sounds great, but how hard is it to make the move? Well, whether you're new to freight management in general, or you're converting from a different freight management third-party partner, the implementation with VPL is a light lift. There's just a couple things that go onto it, and if we have time at the end, I can focus and highlight on exactly what goes into that.
That's great.
Excellent. All right. So let me just kind of tie back to the original story that I was telling about the origins of freight management in healthcare. So if you rewind 20 years or so, the whole concept of freight management started to solve a problem. And that original problem was the fact that suppliers and manufacturers, when they shipped into a hospital or a healthcare setting, they were utilizing the shipping and handling line on the invoice as a profit center. So as an example, you might pull an invoice up, you have the cost of the product, and then you've got that shipping and handling line, right? That pesky shipping and handling line. And maybe it was a $100 charge there. Well, what's that $100? What's the shipping? What's the handling? And why did that supplier just charge that money to me? Well, the reality of the situation is it might have only cost that supplier $50 to ship it to you, and they just made $50 on that shipment. Again, they're padding that charge. They're using it as a profit center. 20 years ago, this problem was rampant in healthcare. And that's the reason that first company was started, to take the power back from the suppliers, give the power back to the provider, and make sure that you're not overpaying for freight. And that was done through a tactical service. That's a transactional type service of getting the suppliers to utilize a third-party discount FedEx or UPS account number that translated into big savings for the customer. So 20 years ago or so, that was the original concept, and it had a tremendous impact in healthcare. But like most things, if you fast forward, there hadn't been any really updates or changes to that in the marketplace until a few years ago, around 2017, we started seeing the move to utilizing software to help with this process. So it was no longer just a service, there was a software introduced in the marketplace. The software allowed members or customers to leverage their own personal FedEx or UPS rates, to control or own their program more, to allow them to have flexible invoicing options, et cetera. And we can get into more detail on this in a second. Once that software was in place, it allowed for data to be utilized in an easier manner to provide better insights into not just freight management information, but smarter shipping decisions or vendor compliance opportunities. Those insights were something that really can't happen if it's just a service. If you have a software in place, the data is able to talk to each other, and again, you can make better decisions based on that. And then from there, once you have the insights in place and you start pulling in other data sources, it allows you to have better visibility into the movement of product in and around, inside and outgoing from your healthcare facilities. This is kind of the ultimate state that healthcare is moving towards. In other industries like retail or automotive, these types of programs and this type of software has already been in place. But just kind of as a utopian state within the supply chain in healthcare, what if you had the ability to really take a glimpse into your suppliers' supply chains and figure out, what do their par levels look like, and how's that going to downstream impact your ability to stock product and meet patients' needs for surgeries that are taking place. That's where this industry is moving to, and that's really the main reason I wanted to share this timeline as we jumped off here in the conversation, just so you know where this evolution is. And as you can imagine, what I'm going to do now is kind of show you where VPL and our software fits in over top of this. So through most of our conversations within healthcare and in this space, we find that most folks we talk with that aren't using VPL are really kind of still in this service, quadrant down here, back where it was 20 years ago. Again, what we found is as this market's evolving, and through some things that VPL is putting in the marketplace, we're making that move to software and making that move to better visibility and better solutions. So I'm going to break this into a couple categories here for you. The first thing we'll touch on is inbound shipping, and our product for that is called VPL Surpass. And I'm going to break into some different components to our inbound shipping solution here, Maria. The first difference that VPL brings to the table is our ability to utilize and leverage both FedEx and UPS for inbound shipments. If some of your members have experience with other third-party freight companies, they'll probably know that really most companies are tied to one or the other. VPL is not beholden to one carrier or the other. In fact, it's important, it's crucial to be able to use both FedEx and UPS. And the reason is, it's all about your supplier's behavior. Some suppliers only have the ability to ship with FedEx or UPS. So if you only have one of these carriers, you're missing out on the potential to capture supplier shipment volume at a lower cost with both of these carriers. So right out of the gate, that's important. It's really more than just somebody liking the purple trucks or liking the guys in the brown shorts here. It's really about leveraging both carriers to drive the most possible shipment volume as you can. Because the more shipment volume that comes through, the more savings the VPL is able to drive for our customers. So that's number one. The other side is we give a choice of the carrier pricing that our customers have access to. So we're not, I guess for lack of a better term, forcing our own FedEx or UPS pricing on our customers. We go out and find the best possible rates that our customers already have access to that they might not even know about. In some cases, that might be state government pricing. It might be GPO FedEx rates as an example. We do the work for our customers to point them in the right direction, and we establish that connection, and we do all the work getting the suppliers to utilize those discounts when they ship inbound to our customers. Another benefit is the way we invoice our customers in terms of how we make our money. So in this industry historically, it's been a business model of, you could call it a hidden margin model. It's a reseller of FedEx and UPS rates. And that example on the left is, you can see it over here, the margin that these companies make is a hidden margin model. So customers have no idea what their partner is making if on these shipments, right? Well, one of the reasons that we started VPL is this is a big one. We found that's not the right way to do it. It's not the right way to kick a partnership off with our customers. So instead, what we do is, again, we start with a lower carrier cost because we go find the best rates we can access for our customers. And we simply charge a transparent flat fee for our software and services. Our customers always know exactly what they're paying us for the software and the service that we're providing. Maria, we'll come in and do an analysis upfront for our customers and establish an apples to apples price improvement based on our lower margins and the improved pricing. And we'll put that in place. And this is a hard dollar savings that our customers can, they can take it to their CFO and explain why they made a move. So this is a big deal for our customers. It's really kicking off our partnership with them in a transparent manner.
Alex, that's really great to hear. Transparency in our industries is really important.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. And I'll tell you, just in my experience throughout the years talking with customers, I feel that and I see that every single day. And it's something that you can't put enough emphasis on something like this. So thank you for that comment. Just flying through here, just in terms of the savings that I mentioned. Again, I'm not. The purpose of this is just to kind of paint the picture of what we're able to do every time we earn business from one of our competitors. If your member is already on a different program, every single time we're fortunate enough to earn business from our competition, we're able to drive incremental additional savings above and beyond. Again, that's because we utilize both FedEx and UPS. It's because we have different processes in terms of making it happen. And we are thrilled when we're able to drive savings for our customers and really help them achieve a better cost savings and aid to their bottom line. Something else that not all of your members might experience, but based on our experience, a lot of folks have this problem today, which is spending too much time processing freight management invoices. So a lot of times what happens, Maria, is somebody will get an Excel spreadsheet with all the different FedEx shipments on there, and there's missing information in there, especially if you have to match your shipment back to the purchase order, back to the ordering department. Some places are spending a lot of time manually doing that research. VPL has designed software we can teach our software the business rules of each particular customer that we have, so that time that somebody might be spending manually processing an invoice is done through machine learning and through our software. So that time can be better spent elsewhere, focusing on bigger problems in their supply chain. So that's the inbound side. I'll switch gears now to outbound, unless you have any comments or questions there, Maria.
No, I don't think so, Alex, but I do for my own clarification, maybe more of a statement. I've heard a lot of service and a lot of mention around software as well. Does the software automatically come with the service? Is it a combination, or is it you pick what you need or how you want to use it?
Yeah, that's a great question and a perfect timing for that call out. So yes, we have a software. No, our customers are not on their own with this software. So I'll touch on this a little bit later, but we have a customer success manager that we assign to all of our customers. And that person is with them through every step, through the implementation, all the way through the life cycle of our partnership together. They do things from helping to train on our software to being there, helping to maximize the use of the software. So you will absolutely have a live person that comes with this as well. So think of it like a software plus a service.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of speaking of the software, the next step here, is outbound shipping. So different types of facilities might ship different levels of outbound shipments, from an acute care setting to we've been doing a lot of work with specialty and retail pharmacies, shipping drugs directly to their patients. We have a platform, an outbound shipping platform that's a one-stop shop for all outbound shipping needs. So rather than go to FedEx.com or UPS.com, some folks at the facilities might be creating retail accounts and connecting FedEx list pricing with outbound shipping. We want to make sure we help our customers get a big lasso around all that outbound shipping and really direct them to ship everything through our platform. And I'll give you a quick screenshot here of what this looks like, Maria. This is an example of what pops up when somebody looks to ship. All you need to do is say what you're shipping and where it's going and when it needs to be there. And our software, built-in intelligence that will not only tell them which carrier to select to ship it with the least expensive cost to get it there when it needs to be there, but we'll also recommend the best mode or service level. One thing we were surprised about when we first built in the United States Postal Service is for local shipments or anything kind of within maybe even the same state, the United States Postal Service does have some pretty good rates. So we can't forget about our friends at the government for shipping sometimes. But the end result here is yes, hard dollar cost savings just with the cost of the shipments with the carrier pricing. But because we're proactively recommending the lowest cost service level, if you can ship something ground and get it there at the same time or earlier than you would ship it priority overnight, you're saving big money that way as well. So, and then by the way, on the back end, we'll have all the analytics to be able to show you the opportunities for doing it better next time. And you can take credit for all the savings that you did drive because you did make that smarter decision. Which is a good segue into the next topic here, which is our data and analytics platform called VPL Percept. So the example I just mentioned is one thing that you will find in our data and analytics platform called VPL Percept. Shipping and savings opportunities, anything relative to inbound and outbound freight in terms of the mode that you're shipping. But it really extends so far beyond that. I'll give you one example here that I think is really, really interesting and very useful. Because we're getting data from our customers that shows us what's happening outside of just the managed shipments, we have the ability to report back on fees that suppliers are charging outside of the shipping cost. So I mentioned that pesky shipping and handling line item, right? That comes on your invoices. Well, if the freight comes through your discounts and through VPL for an inbound shipment, anything that's left on that line is some other type of fee that the supplier is charging. So let's just say that's a handling fee. Well, our software has the ability to slice and dice all these fees and report them back to you in a useful way. And we've got countless examples where our customers use this data to go back and call suppliers and say, hey, it's not in our contract that you're allowed to charge me a handling fee every time you ship me this product. And our customers get suppliers to write checks back to them for credits for amounts, big dollar amounts, sometimes in the tens of thousands. So just another example of how we're driving value and visibility beyond traditional freight management. And then again, along the lines of that, good segue into our next software module here called VPL View. This is the last one that I'll key on here before we kind of transition. But we built this software product called VPL View in response to some questions that we got from our customers during the pandemic. There were a lot of concerns around when elective procedures and surgeries finally opened back up during that pandemic quarantine period. They knew they needed to get the product in quickly to make sure that they could perform as many elective procedures and surgeries as possible. So there was a lot of concern around knowing where that product was, and in this case, surgical implants, knowing where those implants were from the time it left their dock to the supplier's dock to the time it arrived at the hospital's dock. They wanted to make sure they could keep those cases and not have to reschedule them or cancel them. So we already had the data that we needed. And once we learned that this was an issue or need from our customers, half of our company here are software developers, and we designed this software called VPL View to solve that problem. So you can think of this almost like the Amazon visibility for healthcare. If I order a pen from Amazon, I can see where that is from every step of the process, from the time that I order it to the time that they box it up and send it to me. I can watch it, come through on every step of the way on their truck until it shows up at my front door. It's the same thing that we're providing now to the healthcare industry. You can see here one screenshot that you'll see in this software. It's going to tell you where this shipment is from the time the order is placed with the supplier to the time that it's going to show up at your dock and when to expect it. You can do so many things with this software. You can notify clinicians to expect the package or expect that product. You can share all of this information and regular updates with anybody in the organization who wants to see it. But I just wanted to take a second and highlight this, and we'd be happy to do demos for anybody that's interested in seeing this or any of our other software modules. This is a game changer that doesn't exist anywhere else in healthcare, and we're very excited to have these conversations and bring this to our customers. So that's the whole platform there. And again, all of this is covered through our agreement with Champs. And I think one other thing, just to kind of focus on your question from before, again, Maria, does this come with a service as well? Absolutely, it does. I wanted to just I'll give you a little bit of an expectation that your members can keep in mind when they become a VPL customer. We will have our customer success manager sit down with them, create a customer success plan that's based on what their goals and needs are. And then we will work with them to provide them the data or the service, or have regular calls with them, hop on the phone with suppliers to change their behavior, whatever's needed to meet our customers' particular stated specified goals is what we do. So it's not enough for us just to kind of sit back and answer the phone when something might go wrong. We want to be there proactively driving value for our customers. So I wanted to take a second and focus a little bit more on the answer to that question for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I'm continuing to monitor the chat here. And so right now we are good. We have no additional questions.
Okay. All right, good. All right. So I'll tell you, I think the only other thing that I wanted to focus on potentially at the end here, Maria, was, I mentioned that third takeaway at the beginning of the call. What goes into an implementation? Let me go ahead and scroll past this slide, and we'll go back to that in a second. I want to make sure we have enough time to cover this. So all we need to go live or to get rolling is just a couple pieces of information or data sources from our customer. Really, it's going to tell us the suppliers that our customer is working with. And then we want to also know anytime that our customer is still paying a supplier directly for shipping costs. We want to know about that, because we use that to do the work on behalf of our customers to get that supplier set up shipping at the discounted rates. That's kind of, if you think about, it's kind of like the long pole of the tent there in terms of an implementation, getting those data sources set up. Even then, it only takes a couple minutes, really, I would say an hour tops, for somebody to get those data feeds set up to run out of their ERP system to transfer to VPL. After that, it's a pretty light lift. We do all the training for outbound shipping, as an example. We'll get you set up and train you on VPL View and our track and trace software solution. Couple administrative items that we'll get. But I just want to impress upon your membership that this is not a tremendous lift to get started here.
That's awesome. Thank you, Alex. We actually have one other question coming in now, and it's really about what is the next step to speak with you or to someone from VPL to figure out if it's a good fit for their facility.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go ahead and just end the slides there. Sorry, I didn't mean to catch you off guard. I think that's a great question. I think it's a perfect segue into usually how I like to maybe wrap things up here. So I will personally make myself available to field any calls if anybody has interest in your membership. We have a team of folks that work in the field here at VPL that I'll make sure I direct them to the right person to talk with. But I would love to be kind of that first stop there for you to make any introductions to me for any of your membership that might be interested. Even if it's just a quick 5-minute conversation to see if we might be a good fit. We don't want to just inundate somebody with an hour-long presentation. We want to make sure we're a good fit first before we take any of their time up, because I know better than anybody, time is precious right now, especially in this healthcare industry.
That is for sure. Well, that's fantastic, Alex. Thank you. And we have your contact information, so we will make sure to pass that along. We appreciate your time so much. So we are going to go ahead and end this chat today. But if you have any questions, please reach out to myself. Alex's contact information will be made available as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Alex, thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Maria.